This year I turned 30, but if I could go back 10 years and speak to my 20-year-old self who was working at McDonald's at the time, here are the 34 things that I would tell him now through the perspective of myself, who's a multi-six-figure business owner. So in no particular order, number one is to believe in yourself even if you feel like nobody else does. You've got to be your own biggest cheerleader because the only person that's going to make your life a success is you. Build your confidence, become more self-assured, and people will start to believe in you. You may just have to prove your worth first. Number two, invest early because time is the most powerful multiplier of your money. The best thing that I did when I was 21 years old was to open a stocks and shares ISA account and start investing every single month without fail. Now here's why, using a completely hypothetical example. If you say invested £400 a month and achieved an average rate of return of 7% per year, which is just kind of average returns for investing into the stock market, after 10 years between ages 20 and 30, investing consistently every single month, you would have a portfolio valued at £70,037. You do this for another 10 years until age 40 and you're sat on a portfolio of £210,000. Do this for another 10 years until you're age 50 and you're sat on a portfolio of just shy of £500,000. All from just investing £400 a month. So it's important to invest early, invest consistently, and also think long term. But do always bear in mind that when you are investing, your capital is at risk. Number three, work every day to become the person you aspire to be. It's rare that you'll have everything figured out whilst you're in your 20s. Even me now, heading into my 30s, sometimes I still don't feel like I have life figured out, and I don't exactly know where I'm going to be perhaps 5 years from now. But it's still important to show up every single day and work consistently on the person that you aspire to be at some point in the future, even if you don't know 110% exactly where you're going to end up. Number four, an emergency fund isn't just savings, it's peace of mind. As soon as I'd saved up 3 to 6 months of my monthly outgoings in an easy access savings account, the better I felt about my financial position. It gave me so much financial peace of mind knowing that any unexpected financial challenges could be fairly easily overcome. Number five, freedom begins with independence. Whilst it's harder now than it's ever been before, getting a place of your own, whether renting or with a mortgage, is really important for your own personal growth. You don't want to be acting like a child still if you're in your mid to late 20s where you still got your mom doing your washing and your cleaning. Number six, discipline is the bridge between dreams and achievement. If you have a vision or a dream of what you'd like your life to be like by the time you're 30, 40, 50 or even 60, then make sure that your actions correlate with that aspiration to make those dreams become a reality. Number seven is to exercise daily. It's good for everything. Get out and move your body every single day just for like 30 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's just a relaxing walk of an evening or even a light run. It's good for both your mental and your physical health. Number eight, be a hunter, not a farmer. Be a go-getter in life and be proactive in looking and searching for new opportunities, rather than just being comfortable in the environment that you are in right now. If you wait for opportunity to magically turn up on your doorstep, then the chances are the doorbell will never ring. So be relentless and kick some doors down if you have to. Number nine, don't waste energy on things you can't control. If you can't control it, try not to worry about it or stress about it. Sometimes it's a little bit easier said than done, but if you can't control it, try not to worry or stress about it. Things like the government, the tax system, the behavior of others, even things like the weather and unpredictable future events are all things that you shouldn't really stress about. Try and retain a perspective of what's in your control versus not, and try not to get too emotional about the things that aren't, because after all, you can't really do anything about it anyway. Number 10, contributing to a pension today means freedom in the future. It's hard to think about being 57 years of age, which is the minimum pension age after 2028 as at the time of recording, which will allow me to draw down on my pension and hopefully retire. But I'll only be able to draw down on that pension at 57 if I contribute sufficiently during my working life. And the longer that you wait to start a pension, the harder that potentially gets. So big shout out to my mom who told me to contribute to a pension the moment that I started working. Number 11, respect other people's time. I'm the kind of person that would prefer to be 10 minutes early as opposed to 10 minutes late. If you're going to be late for a meeting, an interview, perhaps a date night, whatever the occasion is, it doesn't matter whether it's your fault or not, then be sure to call ahead because the other person will appreciate it. Number 12, focus on actions that will move the needle. I always used to say when I worked in the corporate world, focus on high profile and high impact work. It's the kind of work that will get you noticed by your leadership team, which will hopefully help you progress in your career as they'll start to see your potential. Number 13, pay yourself first. I have a payday routine where I allocate my money in 4 different areas. I have necessities, I have wants, I have savings and investments. And I split that into a percentage that fits your needs, but for me personally, I've always looked to ensure that I at least save and invest 10% of my income. Number 14, memories last longer than material items. I would rather spend £500 on a weekend away than £500 on a pair of designer trainers from Selfridges, because the memories that I can make will last a lifetime, whereas the posh trainers that I've bought will only last a few months before they're ready for the bin. Number 15, produce more than you consume. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to get trapped endlessly scrolling through social media at any given opportunity. Of course, it's great to learn new things and be inspired by others, but be sure you're contributing more to the world than you're taking from it. And remember that you also have a voice too. Number 16, a side hustle isn't just extra income, it's your freedom fund. You may only have started a side hustle to generate a few extra £100 a month in order to just help make ends meet. But I would challenge you to try and think a little bit bigger, because that side hustle could turn into a full-time business, giving you freedom from your 9 to 5 job, just like it did for me. It may even give you complete financial freedom if you work hard enough at it. Number 17 is to take the leap. Getting outside your comfort zone is where growth lies. Speaking from personal experience here, the most amount of growth that I've ever seen within my own life is when I've stepped outside my comfort zone. A few things that spring to mind are me moving to London in my early 20s completely on my own, living in a shared house in order to do my banking job. Also doing a half marathon when I wasn't exactly fit enough to do one. And thirdly, quitting a full-time, well-paying job at 28 years of age in order to pursue my business full-time. All of these things led to optimal growth where I inevitably found out new things about myself. Number 18 is to respect the people around you. Now, you don't need to like everybody that you come across. After all, your boss might just be a complete but you should always show the respect to people that you would expect yourself. After all, it makes a nicer world to live in. Number 19, guard your reputation is the foundation of trust. Warren Buffett once said it takes 20 years to build a reputation, but just 5 minutes to ruin it. So be guided by your own set of values and don't differentiate from them regardless of what's put on the table in front of you. Number 20 is to remain logical, not emotional when put under stress. Emotion solves absolutely nothing when put in a crisis, or even if you're not in a crisis and say you've just found yourself in less than ideal circumstances. If anything, emotions can put you in a far worse position because you can start making things up in your own mind that aren't even a reality. So do your best to remain logical and proactive during these challenging times. Just do one step in front of the other in order to make sure that you're still moving forwards. 21. Be motivated by something greater than money. More money doesn't mean more happiness. In actual fact, there was a study that showed that the frequency of happy emotions actually plateaued once you hit a level of income of about $90,000 a year, which is about £70,000. So money certainly isn't everything. Instead, try and find a greater purpose in your work, and then money will just come as a byproduct. Number 22, the most important decision you'll make in your life is your partner. A good partner will challenge you, support you, and help you become a better person. And I'm fortunate to say that I have all of that with mine. But a bad partner, on the other hand, could ruin your confidence, they could undermine you, and potentially even financially disadvantage you. So be sure to take your time and pick the right life partner, because that will likely be one of your biggest sources of happiness or misery. Number 23, don't be a sheep. Follow your own path. You don't need to take the same road as your friends, your siblings, or perhaps even the route that your parents said that you should go down. Instead, do what you want to do. It's your life and you're only going to get one of them. So don't feel pressured into doing something that's not exactly aligned to how you feel in yourself. Forge your own path and don't let anybody stop you. Number 24, every person you meet is a teacher. Stay curious and keep learning. In the book Think and Grow Rich, it says, the person who stops studying merely because they've finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity, no matter what their calling. The way of success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge. Now I can resonate with this one because my ability to learn how to use a camera, learn how to edit videos, also learn a little bit more about YouTube and the algorithm and all of the kind of stuff that goes into running a content creation business has absolutely changed my life. So be sure to keep on learning on the things that you're passionate about or curious about and just never stop. Number 25, don't compare yourself to others. In a world full of social media where all you see is people's highlight reels, it can be easy to fall into the trap of feeling quite about your own life. And it's easy to compare yourself to those people and wonder why that you're not as successful as they are. But remember, we're all on our own journeys, so make sure that you just focus on becoming the best version of yourself and ignore what everybody else is doing. Number 26 is to travel as much as you can. Whilst you're in your 20s and perhaps free from some of life's bigger financial responsibilities like having kids and a mortgage, then be sure to travel around as much as you can. Use this time to experience different cultures and get some life experience and live life to the fullest. Because there will be a time that comes where you or perhaps some of your mates start to have kids, and then you'll have to schedule in their diary 3 months in advance just to go and meet up and get a pint down the pub. Number 27 is to always pay off your credit card. I have this mindset that I have a credit card, but I don't use it for the purpose of credit. Credit card companies, of course, want you to use the credit facilities because they can start charging you a whopping rate of interest, which may be upwards of 80% APR on your typical Amex. But I've only ever used credit cards for the purpose of rewards. Like I've recently used my reward points, which I've saved up over many years, in order to upgrade my flight to a business class flight for my honeymoon out to Mauritius in a few months' time. So be sure to use a credit card only for its financial advantages, not its financial disadvantages. And if you can't trust yourself, then just don't use one altogether. Number 28 is to invest in yourself. Warren Buffett once said, the best investment that you can make is the investment that you make in yourself. In my early 20s, books, courses, masterminds, and mentorships is where I was at mentally in order to try and make somewhat of a success of myself. But into my late 20s, I've started to focus a little bit more around my health. That's from as small as trying to just achieve my daily step targets, right the way through to doing a few half marathons. But if you can, do both and focus on not just your wealth, but your health too. Number 29, do the hard things first. Every day you wake up and you have a list of tasks on your to-do list. For me, that could be anything from researching, writing a script, recording a video, or doing business admin and emails, which I absolutely hate. But I always try and do the most challenging tasks in the morning. It gives me that sense of achievement early on and allows me to carry that momentum throughout the rest of the day. So be sure to try and do the same because it may just help you stop procrastinating. Number 30 is to focus on high profit actions. Statistically speaking, you're the poorest that you'll ever be during your 20s, at least when compared to the other age categories. So do what you can to focus on activities that will generate you the most amount of money to help move the needle in your favor. That could be anything from starting a side hustle, getting a promotion, or perhaps even moving companies for a pay rise. Try and be a little bit more aggressive with your actions to get the best return in the shortest time possible. Number 31, don't worry about fitting in. One of the weirdest things that I've ever done in my life is sitting down here and switching on a camera and speaking to myself for the best part of 45 minutes to record a video. Yes, my mates took the piss and most people didn't understand it until I started to have some kind of success from it. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't worry too much about trying new things, even if you think that you're going to get judged by it, because in reality, it's the best thing that I've ever done. Number 32, don't buy too many luxury items. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't buy designer stuff. I'm sat here in one of my 2 Ralph Lauren shirts, which I admittedly bought for a discount at Bicester Village. But for the most part, my wardrobe is made up of fairly inexpensive, non-designer stuff. Now, it's fine to own a few nice pieces of clothing at a reasonable price, but if you're going down the route of spending 150 quid on a t-shirt or 500 pound on a pair of trainers, then trust me, you will look back and realize what a stupid financial decision it was, regardless of how cool in the moment you might feel in front of your mates. Number 33, don't let friendships drift. I'm fortunate that I've pretty much had the same group of lads that I've been friends with from probably like 3 or 4 years of age. But what I will say is it's important to not let those friendships drift, especially after you've finished school and perhaps even finished university. Everybody will inevitably go on to have their own lives, potentially have new partners, potentially have kids and get a house and work and settle down and all that kind of stuff. But make sure that you stay in contact with all of the friends that you have. So if you've not heard from one of your mates in a while, finish watching this video and then drop them a text and perhaps arrange to meet up. Number 34, be the person that your closest friends and family can rely on. You want to be that person that when shit hits the fan, which it inevitably will do during many different times of your life, you want to be that person that people can call on. And that works the other way around too, so make sure that you've got the people around you that can pick you up when you're feeling down and out. And if you do want to know how I make over £10,000 per month, then be sure to click on this video next. Be sure to subscribe to the channel whilst you're over here. With that being said, I'll see you over in the next one.